Hello, good evening and welcome. It is Valentine's Day, February the 14th, a Wednesday evening, just gone 8 o'clock. Sorry we're a little bit late, but we've got 12 fixtures to predict this evening, running from Saturday the 17th of February through to Wednesday the 21st of February. So, what's going on there? Who is that?
It's called an advert.
Oh, so we're not even on yet?
Yeah, we are on.
We are. So where are we?
We
get
are.
our stuff on? Are we
Wait
live?
Wait for it.
We are
there
live.
There we go. There we are.
At last. So you may have heard us then. So yeah, as I said, we've got 12 fixtures to predict this this game week. Josh, hello. Is that Josh E? And James Muckle, hello to you as well. But before we get into it, we'll just have a quick, brief look at how well we all got on in game week 24. So, top scorer last week, there was two of you actually, was Owen Oster. I think that's how you would it. Owen Oster on 13.5 points, along with Bob No Rocks, also on 13.5 points and 2 perfect scores. Myself, I was way down. I think I had something like 11 points, Nathan, if you can find me on that screen there. Yeah, there we are, just a 1 perfect score. And I think you were all the way down on some like 4 points,
no surprise.
Nathan.
I've fallen off like
there we are, 9 points. So the overall leaderboard now, though, Nathan, is top of the shop. I think it's Jog It, isn't it? Do you want me to take control there?
Yeah, of course. 2 seconds. Let's just fix the audio, because there is some persisting issues. Yeah, we've got using a different mic tonight, which is probably what is causing it. Let's have a look. What's occurring there?
So I believe that Jog It anyway is at the top of the leaderboard once again.
Let's try and move this. There we go. Maybe
that should better? Is that better with a mic? I think everybody volume is low. Maloglu, hello, good evening, all the way from Canada, if I can remember. Is that better now on the mic? How's this? If I hold it right up here, haven't you got to change the source?
No, that is maxed out. That.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah, 100.
Any better? Right. Hopefully that's better for you all.
Touch wood.
Hopefully that's better. Can I have the mouse now?
Go for it.
Right. Yeah. As I said, top of the shop is Jog It on 248 points. Eddie Video Star is on 232. Oh, thanks, Josh. Hopefully that's not too loud in your ears. And is that Josh E? Can you confirm? Is that Josh E? That'd be brilliant. But anyway, we kick things off on Saturday at 12:30 in the Premier League, where Brentford take on Liverpool at the G-Tech Community Stadium. G-Tech, of course, is a technology firm making like sort of laptops, that sort of thing. Good evening, Doug.
Evening.
Hope you are well up there in Scotland. It's been a while. This is actually, everybody, this is our first live stream in about 10 months. So welcome everybody. Hello, Josh.
Yeah,
hope you're having a good evening this evening down there in sort of, I won't really say where you are, Josh. Mid Glamorgan, West Glamorgan, South Glamorgan. Anyway, Brentford up against Liverpool. Brentford with Ivan Toney back in the fold have picked up a little bit. 2 wins in their last 4 matches, but Liverpool currently second in the table. I think they're near the top of the table in away wins as well. I think Manchester City probably take that title, but a very good victory against Burnley last time out. Mohamed Salah has been seen in training this week, but whether he is going to be ready for this fixture,
about fitness, really, isn't it?
It's a little bit of an unknown. Doug's just saying that they haven't won in London or in Brentford rather since 1982, but haven't really played Brentford all too much in the Premier League and FA Cup, etc. So I fully expect, from my point of view, a Liverpool victory here. I do think that Liverpool will concede it. Obviously, they conceded against Burnley at home last week, so I am going to go for a 2-1 away victory to the Reds, and they really need it because Manchester City are really breathing down their necks as well. Nathan, your thoughts on this fixture?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing I'm going to answer is Maloglu's question: can Cardiff earn a playoff spot? Absolutely not.
Well, they
Especially
can. It's not impossible,
Not
but it doesn't look.
yeah.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
Oh, it was absolutely shocking last night. But back to Liverpool. That stat that Doug's just put in, Mr. Statman himself, haven't won against Brentford, since 1982. That is 100% going to change. I just cannot avoid Liverpool's form at the moment. So,
and they're top of the table as well. One defeat in the last, or is it 6 matches there as well?
Yeah, very
2 defeats
good
all season. So
yeah, and when you look at Man City breathing down their necks a little bit, they always turn on the Jets, don't they, in this part of the season anyway. So yeah, let's go quite comprehensive Liverpool victory, 3-0.
3-0. Excellent. What they say in the chat. Yeah, Liverpool, from Doug, he's gone for a 2-1 victory as well. Harry Doherty, welcome in, Harry. Good to see you in the chat there. A 2-1 victory. Haha, yes. Josh, what do you think? Do you think Liverpool are going to win this weekend? I've got them down for a win, and so is Nathan as well. And Muluglu saying, yeah, hopefully, but need to win 5 in a row. Yeah, it'd be good to win 2 in a row this season, Muluglu. But moving on, Nathan, what's our next fixture?
So let's move on to the 3 o'clocks. We've got Burnley against Arsenal first. So Burnley, everyone knows how meh they have been this season. I mean, we've got a lot of draws there, haven't we? But it's not looking great for them, is it? Let's be fair. But they're coming against an Arsenal team. When Arsenal can perform, boy, can they perform. All I will say is 6-0 West Ham. Absolutely phenomenal. And the Spurs are going to continue, and they're going to ruin the party yet again at Turf Moor, really showing up Vincent Kompany, which has happened a lot this season. So let's go for another heavy scoreline. Let's go. It's going to be 2-0. Let's go 4-0.
4-0, yeah. I think Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet. They had that excellent victory last week away against West Ham at the London Stadium. Really turned over the Hammers, didn't they? I think they'll follow it up against Burnley at Turf Moor. In the past, it's been a very hard place to go and earn 3 points. But this Arsenal team going forward, Declan Rice is great. The likes of Martinelli, I'm not sure he's actually injured.
Yeah,
I'm just going to check the injuries for Arsenal. If the Premier League injury table will come. Oh, look at that. The website's not even working. But
typical.
I believe that this is... let's have a look at the injuries here.
Let's have a look.
Adverts galore, isn't there? So looking at Arsenal, yeah, Jesus out with a bit of a knee injury. No, there we are. I know that Zinchenko has been struggling as well, but looks like Martinelli, and they got a lot of attacking talent going forward. Saka has been in real decent form as well. So yeah, I'm going to have to go for a shutout, as they say in America, a 3-0 victory to the Gunners for me. So what the guy's saying in the chat, Dan Lee, Bullock got to go? I don't think so. I can see why a lot of people are calling for his head. Is that premature? Possibly. I know we're on an absolute dreadful run of form at the moment, Cardiff City. But we've been chopping and changing managers for the last few years. I think we've just got to be a little patient, ride up this storm, try and keep together as a fan base and as a club as well, and hopefully we'll turn a corner. Remember last season we didn't have a lot to play with, no money as such. So I keep them to the end of the season, just see what happens, see what the board is. The board and Bullock comes up with, but for now, for me, okay, form ain't great, but we can't get rid of the manager as it is. Doug's going for 2-0 away victory to Arsenal as well. Harry's gone for a 3-0 win to Arsenal, and Josh has gone for a win as well. So next up, we got Fulham coming up against Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa, a little bit of dip in form of late. As you can see, both Villa, I've been struggling for the past few days. Villa are in 5th position, 2 wins in their last 5 matches.
Of inconsistency.
A loss against Manchester United, and I think that's only their 3rd defeat this season at home, I believe. A loss against Newcastle in the home fixture prior to that Manchester United match, but I do expect them to turn things round slightly in this match. I know that Fulham, they had a very, very good win, didn't they?
Fulham are starting to turn things around
time
as well,
out
actually.
against Bournemouth, but Bournemouth's form has dipped as well. But they're without a defeat in their last 3 matches. However, I think that in this one it's going to be a very, very tight match, and I am going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Aston Villa. Going forward, Villa do look good. Nathan?
Yeah, for me, I've gone for 2-1 as well.
Exactly
Villa at
the
this
same.
point, especially if they want to push for Champions League. I know it's a bit of a tall ask at the moment, but as you can see there, if Spurs drop off on a bit of form, same with Arsenal, or even anyone above them, then they can really push into it. So aside from Newcastle, who they got into it last season, they just really need to keep piling on the pressure there. For me, they can do it, and this is the right game to do it. So let's go 2-1. Can't sleep on Fulham, though, because for me, they've gone under the radar a bit. But very, very interesting. Anyway, moving on. Speaking about Newcastle, we got Newcastle against Bournemouth. As you said, Bournemouth, really patchy form. Haven't won. I think, when was the last time? I think it might have been actually against... Yeah, it was against Fulham, 3-0. No wins, though, in 2024 so far. And we're approaching March very quickly. And boy, it's going to be around the corner fast. But Newcastle as well, same with them. If they want to push into the Champions League or solidify themselves in Europe, they got to get the points on the board. They'll keep it tight. Let's go 1-0 to the Geordies.
1-0. Well, after a terrible run of form, they sort of turned it around a little bit. 2 wins in their last 3 games.
About the injuries, though.
They have, because I believe Callum Wilson might be struggling this weekend, and Isaac is definitely out. Let's have a look at the injury situation up at Newcastle. At Target, been out for a little while, hasn't he? Anderson, Willock, Nick Pope, the keeper's been out for most of the season, hasn't he? With a shoulder injury. Joe Linton's out. As I said, Isaac, Jacob Murphy, and Callum Wilson is much of a doubt for this weekend with an arm injury. In this fixture, though, I do expect Newcastle to take all 3 points. And talking to Josh earlier today, we were discussing the Newcastle-Bournemouth match, and he knows my feelings on this match, and I think that Newcastle will win. I think they'll concede, because Bournemouth, going forward, can be dangerous. And I think Newcastle, let's have a look. Bournemouth scores. It's a little bit slow, this machine. See, they have scored in each of their last 3 matches as well, and actually they've scored in 5 of their last 6 fixtures. So I'm going to give a goal to Bournemouth, but ultimately I'm going to give this one to Newcastle. I can see them running out 3-1 winners. Let's go back to the chat, though, Nathan. Muluglu saying, I can't wait to ask Triple Captain Haaland, question mark. I'll come to that a little bit later there, Muluglu. Harry, City should win, but there's better games to do that. Ooh, interesting. Doug saying, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Harry's gone for a 2-2 draw, Fulham and Aston Villa. Rawlings, Okeo, welcome to the chat there, Rawlings. Hope you're doing well. Definitely see Villa bouncing back. Yes, I agree with that. I'm thinking of saving it, but definitely on the fence. That is the triple captain option this week. Doug's gone exactly the same as me, Doug, with a 3-1 victory to the Magpies, and Harry's gone for a 2-0 victory. But next up, we got Nottingham Forest against West Ham. Nathan, your thoughts?
Interesting, Forest. Nuno not doing great down there, is he? I mean, he's grinding out the odd draw, but since he's come in with that honeymoon period, it is well and truly over for them. West Ham obviously getting absolutely pumped and in not the greatest form, and they need to desperately turn it around if they want European football again next season. So it's a tough one for me. They're both out of form and dying to get something, but I think there's a little bit more fight and quality with West Ham to get a result against Forest. If it was at West Ham, I'd go for the victory, but I'm being a bit hesitant here, though. Let's go for a last-minute West Ham. Let's go 2-1.
2-1 to West Ham. Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Two of their best players, Cunha up front, who's been... Cunha, rather. He's been banging in the goals, hasn't he? And Hwang Hee-chan...
You know that's for Wolves, don't you? We're on West Ham.
Oh, West Ham, sorry. West Ham. Paqueta has been one of their players of the season, of course. out with a knee injury, and Antonio's been out for a while as well. So yeah, Bowen's been playing up front, hasn't he? For the Hammers, a heavy defeat against Arsenal last time out, and they haven't actually won in their last 6 fixtures when they did actually beat Arsenal. As regards to Nottingham Forest, 16th position in the moment. They haven't won in their last 4 fixtures. 3 defeats in those last 4 fixtures as well. A little bit of a possibly a surprising defeat against Newcastle at home. I've got to sit on the fence for this one. You've gone for a 2-1 away victory, Nathan, but I think at home at the City ground on the Trent there, I think that Nottingham Forest are going to earn a point in this match, and they need it, because what are they, 2 points above the relegation zone?
I think a Luton point, with their form will be overtaking them at some point, and then if Everton do a miracle, because Everton are enjoying a draw at the moment.
They've got Sean Dyche in charge as well.
Yeah, the draw specialist, but if they get on a good run of form as well, then Forest could really be in trouble. Same can go with Crystal Palace as well, saying that.
Yeah, anyway, back to Forest. As I say, I think they're going to grind out a point in this one. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw, and it's probably going to be a very nervous affair down there at the City ground. However, West Ham now, without a win in their last 5 matches, will want to try get back to winning ways. You've given your result there.
Indeed,
so next up, we have got Spurs coming up against Wolves, who I sort of got my tongue tied a little while ago. Spurs, though, currently in 4th position in the league, Champions League position. We thought they'd miss Son at the Asian Cup, but Richarlison's really taken over the mantle there, and really putting the ball in the onion bag, while his South Korean counterpart has been away on international duty. In this match, Wolves currently in 11th position. A defeat at home against Brentford, which was a little bit surprising, but they have got Chunya and Hunya, I should say, is it? And Hunya and Han, but both out. They're best players this season, and prior to that, it was that excellent victory against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So in this one, I think it's going to be a tight one. I think Wolves will go there, probably with a sort of a defensive setup, but I think Spurs with their firepower now will take all 3 points. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory to Spurs.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be quality that's prevailing at the end. We all know that Gary O'Neill, of course, former Cardiff City player, loves to take a result out of certain ties as well, and keeps it tight. And yeah, he's got that Wolves team playing to their strengths, to be honest. But for me, it is going to be low scoring, and Postecoglou's men, he's just going to take something out of it. So 1-0 to Spurs.
Is that better, Josh? Right, anyway, let's get back to the chat a little bit. Newcastle. James has gone for a 3-2 victory to Newcastle. Josh has gone Bournemouth to win with his eyes. Doug has gone for a Nottingham Forest 2-0 victory over West Ham, and he thinks it could be David Moyes' final season.
Yeah, I think so.
James has gone for a 3-0 home victory to Forest. Probably looking at that West Ham defeat against Arsenal there. You dropped the mic again, gone a bit quiet. Josh, is it better now? Come on. If Paqueta is back, then they win. If he's out, it's a draw, says Rollings. Harry's gone for a 1-1 draw between Forest and West Ham. James a 3-1 victory. Spurs. Doug has gone for a 2-1 away victory to Wolves. That's a bold one, but look at the Premier League or the Championship. Every single week, there's always a surprise or two, isn't there? Harry's gone for a 3-2 victory to Tottenham. Josh has gone for a 2-0 win to Spurs, and James has gone for a 4-2 victory to Man City. We haven't even got that. Must have been earlier, or in the next match, because we do move to Manchester City coming up against Chelsea. So, plenty of goals in this one. Man City, of course, were in Champions League action last night, where they came away with a
Right, let's give it. Let's change.
There we go. There we are.
There
We're back again. Yes.
Fantastic. Lots of technical difficulties tonight.
Sorry about that. Anyway, back to my score prediction. I've gone for a 4-2 victory to Manchester City over Chelsea. I'm saying Palmer back to haunt his former employees a little bit with his assists. And Manchester City, who doing really well in Europe. Haaland not scoring against Copenhagen, but Foden and the rest of the lads there for the Citizens shouldn't have too much trouble scoring, but I think they will concede. So 4-2 for me. And Nathan, your thoughts?
Interesting. I say it every season, but this is the time of season when Man City just for some reason turn on the jets, have their form just goes ridiculous, and they end up winning the league. But not so much this season because they have a lot less depth in midfield and at the back. So Chelsea might push them a little bit, but Chelsea are a laughing stock at times, aren't they? So let's just go for 3-1 to Manchester City. And I don't know why, I just think Raheem Sterling's going to score against them, and he is written in the stars.
Manchester City player as well, of course.
100%. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to Sunday. Sheffield United up against Brighton. Now, Sheffield United getting an extremely shocking win last time around against Luton, which means they get the medal of not equaling Derby's record, or even better in it. So at least they've done something positive this season.
Actually on equal points now, aren't they, with Burnley?
They are, yes. They've crept up on them very well, but it goes to show how terrible both of them have been. So aside from that, Brighton, patchy form, but this is a good way of putting it right ultimately. So let's go for a nice little 3-1 victory to the Seagulls there.
Seagulls an away win. Yeah, Brighton haven't been too clever on the road this season, have they? I don't even know when the last time. Should we just have a quick drill down into their away form before I make my decision? And these pop-up ads really are a little bit of a nightmare, aren't they? So let's have a look at Brighton's away form this year. The last time that Brighton went on the road was back in November, where they defeated Nottingham Forest 3-2.
And that was even an out-of-form Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, and prior to that, it was a fantastic win against Manchester United when they were in total disarray earlier in the season, and they got that good 4-1 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But they haven't actually won away from home this calendar year. However, I do expect them to get at least a couple of goals in this one. It seems to me it's how well Sheffield United come out of the starting blocks. They did have that very good win, as you said, Nathan, last weekend against Luton, where they won away from home 3-1. Yeah. I don't think they'll follow it up with back-to-back wins. I think Brighton, the amount of pace, the likes of Gross pulling the strings in the middle of the park as well. He can play in a number of different positions, Pascal Gross. They are missing a lot of their wingers, aren't they? Let's have a quick look at the injury situation for Brighton. Solly Marsh, of course, long-term injury. Yeah. And Sisco's out with his knee injury. Veltman back in defence, been out for a while, also with a knee injury. James Milner, the old campaigner, muscle injury. Pedro, which is a big loss because he's been really good since they've signed him from Watford in the close season. But it looks like Matoma is back in the fray. So if he comes on, he could cause the Blades' defence all sorts of problems. So I am going to go for a victory to the Seagulls, but I think it'll be tight. But I can see them winning 2-1, which is one goal less than you, Nathan. Let's go back to the chat. What are we saying? Let's start with Rollings Akeo, Nathan.
Yes. So
he's gone for Manchester City 2, Chelsea 2. We can all hear. Yeah, it was Mike. Sorry about the mic.
Harry's gone for 3-1 to Man City as well. James 4-2 to Man City. Yeah, lots of Man Cities there, as in through it.
Josh has gone for 3-2 to Man City.
Yeah, James going 2-1 against Brighton. That's not a surprise, is it? And then also we got another Brighton win, Doug,
with a clean sheet there.
And then Harry Doherty going for a bit of an upset, 2-1 Sheffield United.
Interesting. So that would take them off the bottom of the table, especially if Arsenal beat Burnley on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
and Josh
with Everton as well, to be fair.
Yeah, and Josh has gone for 3-0 away victory to Brighton. But we move on to the 4:30 kickoff live on Sky TV here in the UK. We've got Luton coming up against Manchester United. Now, Manchester United in the league are in a rich vein of form. actually had 3 wins on the bounce now. Those 3 victories coming Villa away
Good
last
away
weekend,
form
which
as
is
well, actually.
an excellent result. A good win against West Ham, although West Ham are, what is that? That's about 8 goals in the last 2 matches they conceded without scoring, and a good 4-3 victory at Molineux against Wolves. Coming up against the Luton Town side, it's always difficult to go there at Kenilworth Road, isn't it? But I think this Manchester United side, Harry Maguire back in the fray. I think defensively they're looking all right, quite solid in recent matches. Luton, 1 win in their last 5 matches, and it was defeat. Surprisingly, a lot of people are saying it against Sheffield United. So in this one, I think Man United are going to take all 3 points. They're just outside the European places, or the Champions League's places anyway, in 6th position. But I fully expect them to take all 3 points. Højbjerg, is it? Højlund rather, is starting to score now. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win to the Red Devils.
Interesting, yeah. I'm gonna agree with Doug as well. Let's go for a 2-1 narrow to Man United. We've seen it before with Luton this season as well. They do like to keep it tight and take a goal against top 6 sides at home, especially at Kenilworth Road as well. So, Man United, with the way they've been playing, they're going to keep their rich vein of form going even further. So, 2-1 to the Red Devils.
Excellent. So, who else? What else have we got in the chat there? Josh has gone for a 3-0 to win to Brighton. I think we said that already. And also a 3-0 win to Manchester United. James has gone for a 3-2 away win to Manchester United. And Harry's actually gone for a draw. Yeah. You think they're going to hold the Red Devils, the Hatters, there at Kenilworth Road. But we move on to Monday evening. And this is the final fixture of sort of the 10 fixtures, where we've got Everton, the Toffees, coming up against Crystal Palace. Everton without a win in their last 6 matches. Of course, they had that points deduction earlier in the season. Defeated last time out after 3 creditable draws. It was against Manchester City, and it was 0-0 for quite a while in that match, till at least half time. Can't remember when Man City scored their first goal in that one. Of course, Haaland getting a brace in that fixture. Crystal Palace, Roy actually thought they played quite well against Chelsea, but ultimately
leaking so many goals.
Yeah, it was 2 late goals in injury time, wasn't it? Yeah. So they should really have come away with a draw against Chelsea in that one. In this fixture, I think Crystal Palace getting some players back as well. Everton, always tough nut to crack there at Goodison Park. So I think evens are going to be honours are going to be shared in this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and boy, do Everton need the points.
Yeah, Everton really need it. But when you consider Palace's recent form and who they've actually beaten, it's a bit meh, isn't it? And Everton, they're grinding it out, but they're desperate for a victory. And I think Sean Dyche is going to pinpoint this game and think, right, this is where we need to get it. So it's going to be tight. Everton are going to sneak it 2-1 in this one. Anyway, Tuesday matches, Manchester City against Brentford to start off. All we all know about Brentford and what we said before. It sounds like the computer's going to take off. But Man City, as I've just said, the Jets are going to go on again. So let's go a nice little 4-0 to the Citizens at home.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't see anything other than the Manchester City victory in this one. I just want to have a look at Manchester City's goals against in their last 6 matches. If it'll pop up on the screen. And it's going to get there. There we are. They did keep a clean sheet, of course, against Everton. But prior to that, they actually
conceded in 6 games. That's quite good,
they conceded against Brentford away from home. They conceded against Burnley at home, and they conceded against Newcastle as well. So it's kind of a return to that Brentford match only a couple of matches ago, where they won 3-1. And I'm going to go for exactly the same scoreline in this one. Manchester City playing a lot of games in the space of a week, especially with that European competition, which was yesterday evening. So I am going to go for a 3-1 victory to Manchester City. Let's return to the chat though, Nathan. Where do we start? I think Harry Doherty going for a 1-1 draw. Luton, Manchester United.
Interesting going for a 4-1 Palace there as well against Everton. That is a very good shout.
That's bold. Doug for a 2-2 draw between Everton and Palace. Palace are in free fall. 2 wins in 13. Yeah, that's not great form, is it, Doug? Josh has gone for a boring 1-1 draw, and he agrees with myself. James has gone for a 3-0 victory to Manchester City against Brentford. I know that they kind of... Pep does like to chop and change his defence though, doesn't he? Doug's gone for a 2-1 victory to Manchester City against Brentford. Of course, last season Brentford won both of these fixtures, home and away, didn't they? And Harry's gone for a 3-0 home win to Manchester City. So, a final fixture of this 12-game week. I'll say that again. A final fixture of this double game week if you're into your fantasy football season. Liverpool, Douglas's team, of course, take on Luton Town at Anfield. Liverpool, of course, will be going all gun blazing to get all 3 points in this one. Remains to be seen if Salah will be back to this match. I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game. We know that Luton like to attack. Liverpool with the likes of Jota and Gakpo and Darwin Núñez and the rest of their attacking force. Although Trent, I know he's got a bit of an injury. He came back for a couple of matches, didn't he? And I think he's got a recurrence of a hamstring injury. So whether he'll play or not, we don't know. Robinson's back in the fold, of course. And Konate, I think he'll be back after his ban. I think he's banned for Saturday's match against Brentford, but he should be back for this one after that ban. So I think there'll be goals. I think that Liverpool are probably going to score most of them, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 home victory to Liverpool. Yeah,
for me, I think Luton are going to give it a good go up there, but ultimately it is Anfield, a notorious place to go. I mean, admittedly, we've been there on an away day. It is a library if you're an away fan, but aside from that, it is a difficult place to go and get a victory. So Luton will give it a good go, but it's going to be a standard Liverpool-Anfield win, 2-0 to the Reds.
2-0 to the Reds. Fine. Excellent, Nathan. So we'll just have a quick look at the chat. Doug's gone for a 2-1 victory to Manchester City over Brentford. Harry's gone for 3-0 win to Man City. Doug has gone for a 3-1 home victory to his team Liverpool against Luton. Exactly the same for me. And Josh has gone for a thumping, a 4-1 victory to Liverpool. And Harry Doherty has gone for a Liverpool 2-0 victory as well. I think Maloglu mentioned it earlier on that if I just pop it over to the fantasy football, if you play along there, points wise, I actually had 93 points of people are interested, but this week, as we say, Manchester City got 2 matches and so has Liverpool, so yeah, it could be time to activate that triple captain Mulligaloo. So should we just very, very briefly go through our predictions for the week? So I'll go first, Nathan. I've gone for Brentford 1, Liverpool 2, Burnley 0, Arsenal 3, Newcastle 3, Bournemouth 1, Fulham 1, Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 1, Spurs 2, Wolves 1, Man City 4, Chelsea 2, Sheffield United 1, Brighton 2, Luton 0, Manchester United 2, Everton 1, Crystal Palace 1, Man City 3, Brentford 1, Liverpool 3, Luton Town 1. Nathan.
So let's go for mine. So Brentford 0, Liverpool 3, Burnley 0, Arsenal 4. That's a good start to the game week. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 0, Forest 1, West Ham 2, Spurs 1, Wolves 0, Man City 3, Chelsea 1, Sheffield United 1, Brighton 3, Luton 1, Man United 2, Everton 2, Palace 1, Man City 4, Brentford 0, Liverpool 2, Luton Town 0.
Fantastic. Cough, cough, sniff, sniff. The lurgy is here, and that's one of the reasons why we've gone live this evening. I need a real early night. But thank you for joining us. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. And Doug, if you are watching, I just want to see where the both of us are in the overall leaderboard now.
Pop it on.
So, Doug, you are currently in 17th position, dropping one space last week, and myself, I'm actually up a position, up into the top 10 now. So, how many points is Doug behind me? How many is he on at the moment? He is on 220. I'm on 224.
Very
so
close.
3 points behind me, I believe. So.
Less said about me, that's all I'll say. Look at how much I've dropped off this season.
Josh, good night. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. So I'll catch you in the morning at some point. And thanks for tuning in. But thank you everybody for joining us this evening on Valentine's night on Wednesday, the 14th of February. As I say, make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. Enjoy your Premier League weekend, and we'll catch you all in the next video or even in another live stream.
Very true.
Cheers for now.
Cheers for now.